Daryl Morey was on the Ryan Russillo show, and he said that the Houston Rockets' ultimate goal was to knock off the Golden State Warriors. And he said, he knows that he shouldn't be saying that, but all the moves that they've made during the offseason have been to dethrone the Warriors. The Warriors have won the Western Conference 3 times in a row. The Rockets are sitting at 25-5, and the Warriors caught up. Now they're sitting at 26-5. So it's just basically, or 26-6, I believe, 26-6. So basically, it's like a loss that basically separates them about half a game or a whole full game, something to that effect. And Daryl Morey was right. He shouldn't be saying this, and he shouldn't let that on for other people to know. The thing that really irks me with his comments and what he said about the Golden State Warriors, last year, the Golden State Warriors did not beat the Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets didn't even make it to the Western Conference Finals. So it's kind of like everything you're doing is geared to beat one team, and you can't even beat the Spurs. Cassidy had a great line. Cassidy, the rapper, he said like, I'm trying to be the best of the game. I'm trying to beat Jay-Z. At the time, Jay-Z is the best in the game. He said, you're not even better than Bleak. Right now, if the Warriors are Jay-Z and the Spurs are Bleak, Houston Rockets aren't even better than Bleak. You're not better than the Spurs, Like, let's just say Kawhi Leonard gets back to full potential, and everything is like that now. Aldridge, Gasol playing and clearing all cylinders. I think you have more of a challenge. That's a challenge you still have to overcome. So it's kind of weird that they're automatically overlooking their peers and stuff like that just for the Golden State Warriors. All the moves are making for the Golden State Warriors doesn't make any sense. All your moves should be should be to win a championship. It should be to win a championship. Yes, winning a championship means going through the Golden State Warriors, but it shouldn't be exclusively about the Warriors because things about the Warriors could change. Injury could change. They could get a player by the trade deadline. One of their players could get better. They could make some plays that you weren't ready for. They could change up their game that you weren't ready for. You have to be the best self. You have to live your best self. The organization has to live their best organization. They have to play the best way that they know how. They have to bring in the players for winning the championship. It shouldn't be like, we have to beat this, that, or third. We have to beat the Cavs, whatever. So let's just say you get past the Warriors. Now you have to face whoever in the Eastern Conference. Do you clearly know that? Let's say you have to play the Cavs. Do you 100% know that you could dust them? No. So you're setting yourself up for failure, pitting yourself against one another person. And it's like, this is sort of like what manufacturers do or businesses do. What they'll do is they're keying on the competition, and then they'll try to chisel down the competition. Sort of like what LeBron does to Michael Jordan. Everybody that wants to say LeBron's better than Jordan, they'll try to chisel something down. So Michael is the GOAT and the greatest player of all time, in my opinion, many people's opinion. What they'll say about LeBron is LeBron's the best all-around player of all time. So it's like they're trying to chisel away at Mike, and it's just making LeBron look a little weak. It makes you look weak. Like, for example, like McDonald's is it's the Golden Arches. But Burger King says, have it your way. So they're saying basically at McDonald's, you can't have it at your way. You can't have it your way. You got to eat the way they tell you to eat. At our place, have it your way. So it's like they're trying to take little jabs. And when you're keying in on the competition is still ahead of you. So like Pepsi and Coke, how Coke, Coke's been here a long time. They're basically the best known soda brand. But other companies try to take little digs and stuff like Pepsi and stuff. So you're trying to take a dig, or you're trying to focus on the Warriors so much, but the Warriors are still ahead, and they're still going to remain ahead. So focus on yourself so you can get ahead. Because you don't see the Warriors trying to make moves to beat the Rockets. Warriors are trying to make moves to be dominant for a long time. And that's how it should be in basketball. Don't make moves based on other teams. Make moves based on your needs, and you'll see that the pieces fit into place. You can't just bring in players and say, this is to beat this team. Like when the Pistons brought in Aguiar. Am I saying his name right? I apologize. It's before my time, but they brought in a guy. Guys didn't agree with it, but that was for them to be dominant, and they won another championship bringing him in. It wasn't like bringing him in was like to beat said team or whatever. Or like when the Warriors brought in Kevin Durant to the Golden State Warriors, it wasn't strictly to beat LeBron James or whatever. It was because they know they needed added firepower because Curry couldn't always maintain that load. You saw it through two finals. You know, he played pretty solid, but they needed another gear. They needed something to push them over the hump consistently. And that's what it was. It's not like your team shouldn't focus on another team. You know, unless you're like, you know for 100% fact this is what you're gonna face. Like you had the Rockets last time you played the Warriors in the playoffs is like 3 years ago first round, no 3 years ago second round, and then what was it? And you gotta remember every time they played them, Warriors beat them like in 5 or whatever. They smoked them. They played them in the Western Conference Finals like 3-4 years ago now. So you haven't been able to like even get back to the Western Conference Finals since then. So focus on that first. Focus on beating the Spurs. Focus on yourself. Don't focus on strictly the Warriors because they have some talent that you ain't, we might not ever see assembled ever again. So you can't like try to copy what they're doing. You just have to take Chris Paul, James Harden, put them in the best place to score, put them in the best place to be successful. And that's what you focus on, not on another team, because that is gonna impede your progress and your obsession with the other team. When you face them, it's almost gonna be like you're seeing a rock star, or you're meeting like your idol, and once you get there to talk to them, let's say you gotta to do a skit with them or perform with them, you're gonna be at a loss for words because you've been so focused on them. Now you finally get them. Now you get the chance. Now what are you gonna do? And that's the thing. You just gotta focus on yourself. Daryl Morey, I don't want to hear nothing about this anymore. This is not a good look for them because if this is the case, then that basically means, first of all, you're disrespecting your competition. You're overlooking the Spurs. You're overlooking everybody until you have to face them. Like, I thought the Rockets last year could have possibly beat the Spurs. It didn't happen. So this year, you can't just automatically think you're going to beat them. Like, Kawhi Leonard is still here. I mean, he's rehabbing, but you know what I'm saying? You're not even better than Bleak. This is Vlad from Hoops Junction. Hoops means Hoopla. Peace.